and this is my part too, on how a lot of these just basically try to think that black men are intimidated by mid-term Mitchell and bottle shell brand. and the funny thing is, these are what black women really call out their dustiness. And this one chick that only logic, shout out to him in this channel, the only logical had on this channel was you had this divestment black chick with goddamn more wigs than goddamn Korean store and motherfuckers in Compton. So she got all these goddamn wigs, you know, her prized possessions, and she dating this mid-term Mitchell. He was about a mid-term Mitchell at best. She able to buy her a few little trinkets and shit like that. So a lot of these black women, they think when they divest with these white men that somehow black men are intimidated by them. Now, I mean, the fucking projection is all over the goddamn place for a lot of these divestment chicks. Just the projection. And see, the reality thing is, black men don't really have nothing to fear from black men getting, white men getting black women, because the truth is, black men have accepted that. Black men, white men have always had access to black women. So that's nothing new. We don't care about that. White men had access to black women from daughters of the trade to the plantation to Jim Crow, all the way through the pro-black movement. You had black women swirling. You had what? Maya Angelou, Angela Davis, divesting and swirl, Pam Grier, divesting and swirling. Hell, she did dope movies for a time. But black women have been dating outside the race for a long time. So that don't bother us. They were dating, they were laying there with white men when we were getting lynched for looking at a white woman. And the funny thing is, that's why white men had a great fear. One of the reasons why white men had a fear of black men becoming prominent is because they was afraid that Becky seen what was going on in the plantation. And a lot of these white women were seeing that shit, and they always wanted to pay white men back for that shit. You know? They always wanted to pay white men back for that shit. And I remember BGS was saying, reading this clip, what this white woman said, one of these days they're gonna pay black women back. And what they mean by that, see, during slavery, you had a lot of black women getting bedded by Brad. So most of the children that you see being born on a plantation in the big house was mainly Brad kids. And you got the mistress that gotta walk around and look at all these hot yellow ass kids that look like her husband. So just imagine what's going on in that woman's head when she's seeing all these children that her husband was fathering up on the plantation. You had a lot of that going on. So this is another reason why white men was so, when blacks got free, this is another thing that white men feared, that somehow black men white women was gonna run off with the strapping young bucks, black bucks, on the plantation and leave them on the plantation alone. This is one of the fears that white men had of, you know, the former slaves when they became free. That's another reason why they had a reason to subjugate black men. Same reason why white men and white people in general have a fear of black people because they think we're gonna pay them back for all the shit that they have done. Which, when you know you're wicked people, you know you always looking for retribution. If you was a good people, you wouldn't have to worry about retribution so damn much. If you did shit good, just a little lesson for you white folk. But nevertheless, Becky seen the relationship of that white man and that black woman on that plantation. Now, we always said, black men have always said this, that white men have always had access to Keisha. So when Keisha sit up there and throw around that she got a Brad, that's not really not a flex to us. That's something we already know white men been doing, blowing y'all back out since the plantation. The problem is that Keisha has a fear of Becky. And try to project it on black men having a fear of white men getting with black women, which we already know black women, white men always had access to black women. So why we gonna hate on that? That's not a flex to us. We already knew that white men had access to black women. Nothing new. I don't know why y'all think that's a flex. It's really not. So the thing is, the real problem is with Brad and Keisha, that Brad starting to see white men with black men with all their most attractive white women. And now you got Becky. Becky has the edge no matter what. And I'm gonna tell you how Becky had the edge over y'all Keisha. See, if Becky really wanted y'all white men for all y'all divestors, if Becky really wanted y'all white men, it'd be nothing for her to take your man. It'd be nothing for her. Because all Becky have to do, bat them eyes, throw that wave of brunette hair, red hair back, and look at that white man a certain kind of way while you around him, and that man gonna be fascinated by that white woman. Because you know why? That's his white woman. That's his white woman. And you can't get mad at him for being attracted to his own ethnic group of woman, because that's his woman. But the thing is, Becky knows she got another edge over y'all. She can get all the successful black men as well. You see, that's where the motherfucker rubber meets the tarmac. The rubber meets the tarmac. Y'all will try to project all this shit that somehow black men are jealous of white men because they with y'all nigga ass. Boy, they're so far that don't even come close. I said, why would black men that any damn ethnic group of women, well, they just got to sending a report out for black men to come over there to Japan to hook up with Japanese women. They just send a decree out for black men to come over there to marry black Japanese women because they need the genetics of black men. Not white men, black men. So you got brothers going abroad dating all types of ethnic groups of women. So why would black men care about y'all out here divesting? They really don't. And see, black women want black men to get upset when they come on, like the black chick I said in one video, you come all the way in a black space, but mostly black men congregate there just to say you want a white man, you attracted to white men. And nobody don't see she was basically coming there to start shit. That's why she came there. But then, you know what? The only one ran out was that nigga that liked that wig wearing ass bitch. Because I bet you any money, if she do get a white dude, all he gonna do is take her to Pound Town and throw her back to the niggas. That's all he gonna do. Cause that's what a lot of them white boys use y'all for. Just something to do. Something to do. You have very few of them may marry y'all. They may marry y'all, and they may marry y'all for a season. But after a while of being with y'all, they always get a divorce real quick. And y'all try to project that on black men, saying black men and white women marriages don't last long. They last longer than y'all's. They last longer than you and Brad's shit. A hell of a lot longer. And I ain't even trying to, and I don't even, I'm gonna just say like this, for the record, y'all, if y'all try to come at me, say, oh, you must worship white women. No, I'm just saying the motherfucking obvious truth. I don't even look at white women like that. I'm not attracted to white women. But I'm gonna tell the truth. And I'm not gonna knock brothers for doing what they do. Cause y'all do what y'all want to do all the time, so I'll knock y'all. But I'm gonna call this shit out when you want to say shit about black men, instead of you going off and being with your white man and leaving us alone. You gotta mention us in y'all shit, or even to the point where you call your ex Dusty boyfriend or baby daddy a Dusty. Bitch, what that make you? You had a kid with a Dusty. What that make you? That white man technically got a Dusty wig wearing bitch. Cause only to me, only Dusty. I even told my nieces that they were them wigs and shit and that baby hair shit. Only Dusty nigga bitches do that, wear they hair like that. Sophisticated black women don't wear their hair like that. I tell any chick that I date, get rid of that baby hair shit. That's the most niggerish shit I ever seen. It's getting so bad now, even the white girls doing it. And white boys sure don't like it. And see, another thing too. Black women gotta pretend to be something that they not when they get with Brad. They gotta try to pretend to be these sophisticated black women. They gotta pretend. And you know it kills them. Because they can't, I'm gonna tell you something about these Negro bed wenches that be in them white spaces. They really feel inadequate in those spaces. They feel out of place in those spaces. Oh yeah, they feel inadequate and out of place in those spaces. Cause they gotta be something that they're not. It's different if those black women come from a structure like that. You do have black women that come from well-to-do black families that know how to operate in those circles. And the funny thing is, the black women that operate in those circles snub the nose at y'all. They like, ugh, ghetto bitch over here. Y'all don't get no respect amongst the black women that live over there on their side that grow up in them circles. And then when them black women see y'all, them black women know y'all do too much to try to fit in. See, the black women that grew up over there in those circles, they don't have to do all that to fit in because they already fit in. They know how to operate, and then they don't have to go all the way out and try to be like Becky. They just being themselves. Where y'all go all the way out just to fit in, and people know you don't fit in. First of all, a lot of y'all coming out looking like what? Wearing all them damn elaborate ass wigs, looking like goddamn RuPaul and shit, and drag queens and shit. Cause all the clothes and shit y'all wear, all them long nails and shit, big ass lashes, that shit come from drag queens. So y'all up there looking like drag queens and shit. And then them black women that grew up in that shit over there looking like, ugh. That's how they looking at y'all like, ugh, I'm so ghetto. And eventually, he keep on bringing you in them circles. Them white people go like, man, don't bring her over here no more. Brad, that's your woman. You need to take her back to the ghetto. And see, believe me, that's what them white people be saying when they see y'all look ghetto ass over there with all them long ass nails and blonde hair and big y'all dressed up like drag queens. And they come in here and say, what, this an LGBT committee? Y'all be taking L's like a motherfucker, man, and don't even know it. See, them rich white people, they talk about y'all like y'all shit over there. And how I know, because I dated a few women. My wife was one of those black women that grew up in those circles, my ex-wife. She grew up in those circles where you had that, you know, she was a cheerleader and shit. And they know when you're not from that community. Just by the way you look, and you overextend yourself. Those black women that start divesting with white men, they overextend themselves, and that's how they know you from the ghetto. So you can't escape the ghetto no matter how you try, Keisha. You can get, that's why she even said in the video she can't go around a lot of his white friends because they make mockery of him and her. Well, that's the funny thing, but yeah, black men, we can go in them circles and be ourselves and talk just like I'm talking right now and still be respected, because you know why? I ain't trying to fit in, I'm being myself. I'm wearing, well, I don't got no hair, I'm bald, but I'm myself. I don't have to code switch or anything like that, try to talk white. I talk good enough English where an individual can understand me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that. Ain't nothing like a cold ass Mountain Dew. But I don't have to do all that shit. Even if I wanted to date a white woman, I'm gonna be my goddamn self, and you know what? That white woman gonna love me for it. Black men, we don't have to change or switch code to be with Becky or Susan or any other woman. Because women gonna like us intrinsically just for who we are. Y'all gotta do all that shit. We are diverse. We don't have to do all that. We don't have to wear hair that don't belong to us. We don't have to try to act a certain kind of way when we go over the fence. We just be ourselves. Y'all the only ones that can't be yourself. And yet y'all try to project that on us, say we self-hating, we hate being black, when really it's y'all. It's projection like a motherfucker. And then another thing too, we notice when we be in those circles. Y'all black women that divest, y'all know y'all can't stand Becky. Y'all know y'all can't stand Becky. Especially if Becky look good and Becky you catch your white man looking at her ass, looking at her, and then I'm gonna tell you what fuck it up for him. When you see that Becky walk off holding Tyrone on hands in her hands, that motherfucker hate it. He can't stand it. And you know what he do when he get home? He pissed off. So what he do, because he can't take his anger out on Tyrone being with that attractive ass white woman that he really wanted, he up there pissed off because he with your nigga ass. And that's why a lot of times y'all black women start getting abused by that white man, because he hates the fact that he gotta be with you, look at your ass with them wigs off, with that makeup off your face, and he gotta lay down with your ass after all that shit and think about that beautiful white woman that left out with Tyrone hopping off in that motherfucker G-Wagon while y'all driving in a motherfucking, driving in a Subaru Outback.